There is a moment when you realize the noise is not T in the city, it S inside you. The clock keeps moving, the calendar spins, promises stack up, and still nothing fits. This is an invitation to cross the chaos without running from it, to organize within so the outside stops weighing you down. We'll walk through 10 Stoic doors, 10 simple deep choices, so you can return to your own life with presence, clarity, and a steady center. In the end, there is no trick, only a return. From you, back to you. Align what is out of place. Open a room and see the scene. Papers piled up, tangled cables, a forgotten glass. You may find the key, but you lose your peace. Disorder speaks softly through, "I'll deal with it later." Inside, it's the same. Unfinished tasks become anxiety. Conversations without closure turn into static. Decisions postponed turn into fatigue. Marcus Aurelius wrote in the morning to order his soul, not to collect goals. Order is not obsession, it is clarity of place. Everything in its space, including thoughts. Start with the tangible, your desk, your phone, notifications, the closet. Then move to the intangible, what matters today, what ends here, what continues with you. When the inside aligns, the outside stops shouting. Close small loops and the mind loosens its grip. Face the routine you avoid. Transformation rarely comes from the epic, it comes from repetition. Identity forms in the corridors of the ordinary. A routine does not imprison, it saves energy. What becomes ritual frees the mind for what is living. Choose structure that does not depend on motivation. The strength you admire is not in occasional willpower, but in sustained rhythm. Wake at the same time, move your body, protect a reading block, defend a few minutes of silence. Small bricks repeated become a foundation. You do not need a perfect routine, only one you will keep even on bad days. When effort becomes rhythm, rhythm becomes identity. Cross the pain without theatrics. Pain does not knock, it enters. And escape has many disguises: anxious productivity, constant humor, infinite scrolling. Stoicism does not romanticize suffering, it teaches you to pass through it. Crossing pain is refusing the anesthesia that postpones the inevitable. The wound reveals dependencies, swollen pride, old fears, and that is where fiber is forged, not by not feeling, but by not surrendering to what you feel. Stay a little longer when everything in you wants to leave. Say no where you always yielded. Cry if you must, but do not abandon yourself. Growth begins when you stop negotiating with your own truth. Break disguised addictions, tame desire. Desire can be a map or a prison. The line is thin, growing out of fulfillment or out of lack. When desire rules, life is always a draft that starts after. Is to ask, why do I want what I want? Is it mine or inherited? Essence or comparison? Apatheia is not indifference, it is emotional sovereignty. Do not kill wanting, guide it. When the noise of wanting goes silent for a day, what remains of you? That core is direction. Desire with clarity liberates. Desire with urgency enslaves. Impose boundaries, or you will be imposed upon. Saying yes when you wanted to say no is self-abandonment in installments. The world has no brakes, it goes as far as you limit it. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors with locks. They define what enters, what stays outside, and what only comes in with an appointment. Clarity prevents resentment. Whoever does not place themselves will be placed anywhere. Focus is born from timely no's, especially to what drains you and steals your center. Boundaries are not anger, they are firmness. You do not owe explanations for protecting your peace. Select what feeds you. Guard your attention. The mind is a garden. Everything you consume is seed. Even good excess suffocates. Peace is not distant. It is a stimulus diet. Digital hygiene is mental hygiene. Silence notifications, filter feeds, unfollow anxiety. Reduce inputs, create windows without screens. The Stoics protected their inner space because without clear perception, even truth becomes confusing. Guarding your entryway is guarding your sanity. Not every knock deserves entry. Not every message needs to be read. Not every opinion needs to be absorbed. Your attention is sacred. Assume full responsibility without guilt. Guilt paralyzes, responsibility frees. Yes, there were absences, injustices, wounds, and still the next step is yours. A legitimate story becomes a wall when it keeps you from acting. Authorship is admitting your concessions, not only the world's impositions. Trade the weight of what wasn't done for the weight of what must be done now. Less epic, more presence. Less one day, more today. You cannot control the cards you were dealt, but you can decide how to play and refuse to repeat the game that hurt you. Strengthen your axis. Control the internal. Trying to control the world is holding the wind with your hands. Stoicism does not call you to tame the tides. It calls you to steer. The helm is the axis, the quiet place where the storm does not enter. The axis is built in 3 gestures: observe before reacting, breathe before speaking, respond with values, not with impulse. The world will keep pulling you outward. You keep returning inward. It is not passivity, it is direction. When you know your center, urgency becomes discernment, despair becomes clarity, reaction becomes a chosen response. Face discomfort as a teacher. Nothing alive grows without friction. Discomfort is not an enemy, it is a messenger. It points to what must be adjusted. Avoidance gives short relief. Staying gives long strength. Say the no that needs to be said. Let the habit die. Have the conversation. Growth costs masks, comforts, versions of you that no longer serve. Losing what imprisons you is winning freedom. The firmness you seek is not rigid. It is the fruit of having crossed your own night without losing your own hand. Make order a spiritual act. Tidying your house is not mere aesthetics. Organizing your schedule is not dry discipline. Caring for your body is not only physical. Choosing what you allow in is not just personal management. Order is reverence. It is telling life, I am here, whole. When you arrange your space, your time, your desk, your bed, you prepare the altar where your presence happens. Stoicism does not ask for a stone heart. It asks for wholeness. Less haste, more presence. Less noise, more meaning. The order you build outside quietly rebuilds you inside. Beginning, middle, end. In the beginning, you recognize that chaos is not only out there, it is the internal dialogue without curation. You breathe, you observe, and choose the first door. Align what is out of place. Practical cleaning inaugurates emotional cleaning. In the middle, you raise structure, cross without anesthesia, tame desire, erect boundaries, cleanse your stimulus diet. Responsibility replaces narrative with movement. A center is born. Discomfort becomes tool. In the end, you see that order is spiritual. More than productivity, it is dignity applied. There is no spectacle. There is ground. Repetition, presence, coherence, and the peace you searched for outside becomes a consequence of inner choices. This is not about becoming someone else. It is about returning to who you are when the noise stops. The Stoic path is simple, not easy. Quiet, not empty. demanding yet liberating. In the end, it gives you what has always been yours, yourself, more whole, lucid and serene, able to fall without breaking, to love without losing yourself, to live without hiding. If this message made sense to you, write, "Today I begin to put my life in order." It tells me you were here, present, and that you have already crossed the first door. Share this with someone who needs a map for their own chaos, and subscribe to the Philosophical Owl. We continue with practicality, depth and calm, because to philosophize is not to flee life. It is to inhabit each day with more truth.